Warning. The following program is a satirical look at Indigenous news, politics, and current events. Reconciliation is advised.
I love you. You love, lift us up where we belong. Hey, 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 where the walking eagle roams. Oh, hey,
Anin, bonjour, tansei even. I am your host, Tim Fontaine, and welcome to The Laughing Drum. Television so deeply and profoundly Indigenous, our res dog rides a painted horse. We have an exciting show today. My Red Power panel is here, and they are ready to tear down the hottest topics facing Indigenous country today. But first, as always, let's see what's been happening on the news. We begin in British Columbia, where Green Party leader Elizabeth May was arrested after joining a protest against the Kinder Morgan pipeline expansion project.
The Green Party leader Elizabeth May being arrested. She's being led away by two Mounties. This for defying a court order not to impede or block access to the Kinder Morgan facility in Burnaby. Let's try and see if we can get a comment from Miss May. Miss May, how are you feeling right now?
I want to make it as easy as possible for these fine gentlemen in the RCMP, so I think it's best if I not do interviews as we walk.
Man, oh man, they sure do treat the white folk nice when they protest. I mean, holy shit, did you hear that cop ask her if she's okay? And what a leisurely stroll, arm in arm. The only thing missing there was top hats. If it was all Indigenous activists, I guess it would have been more like this. Still in politics, the federal government said it's going to wipe out tuberculosis in the north.
A day after health officials said a teenager's death in Labrador was likely due to tuberculosis, the federal government has now committed to eliminating the disease in Inuit communities by 2030.
It's not rocket science. You know, we're in a position where we have the best technical and diagnostics tools that have ever been in existence.
Now, if only this government could find a cure for persistent bullshit. A social media giant is embroiled in a scandal. Facebook is facing harsh criticism after another company, Cambridge Analytica, was caught scraping millions of profiles for voter insights. Now, many are threatening to delete Facebook in protest.
A rising chorus of people seem to be joining this delete Facebook movement. Does this mean people will completely delete all of the content online and not go without their Facebook?
Yeah, that is what we're hearing. I've heard from personal friends and family who have actually deleted their Facebook account.
See, data breaches and privacy concerns might piss off Moby there, but I just checked and my whole res is still on Facebook. Some, like my cousin, even have 2 or 3 accounts. And besides, I would probably wither and die if I couldn't use Facebook to find stuff like this. In people interacting with animal news, video of some white lady helping a porcupine has gone viral.
I know how you feel, buddy. Happens to me in the morning sometimes. Okay. Okay. There you go. Here. There you go. There you go. Well, you better get in the tree. You had a rough day.
I would have eaten that thing. It's literally free food. I'm serious. There would be porcupine sandwiches in my fridge right now. And I could finally have finished the quill work on my favorite outfit. All right, we have to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll sit down with the Red Power panel. Don't go away, or the feds will cut your funding. All right, welcome back to the Laughing Drum. Television is so deeply and profoundly Indigenous, the federal government put us under third-party management. My Red Power panel is here today, and they're going to weigh in on the hottest issues facing Indigenous peoples today. The Red Power panel is the Sitting Bull of Indigenous comedy, Jerry the Big Bear Barrett, a woman whose rage smells like wood smoke and moose meat, Alyssa Kitson, and woke Indigenous hipster Sasha Mark. Welcome to you all.
Oh, it's good to be here.
All right, let's start with something we all know well, Facebook. Ooh. All right, many people are vowing to delete their Facebook accounts after the company is accused of inappropriately sharing users' data. Some Indigenous folk are following suit, but I checked, and you're all still on there.
Yes.
So, are people right to be angry that Facebook is using stuff they post online? Jerry, let's start with you.
I think, well, I always said I accidentally signed up for Facebook. I don't know how that happened because I had to fill out all that information and then push accept, yes. But I think people were probably aware that it is a website that uses different applications, and that when you sign up, something's going to happen. And that's why there are different quizzes and different intelligence, BuzzFeed and whatnot for you to fill out. And I'm always very cautious about what I put on there. I always try to keep it, like I say, upbeat and happy, but because I know that evil exists. Evil people. Be careful on Facebook.
Yeah. Alyssa?
I use Facebook mostly for, promoting myself and, for comedy. But I, like really, if somebody grabbed my information, they're going to get a whole lot of cat memes and, just really inappropriate recipes that I probably should, like what? It's your fault if you put your social insurance number as an answer in one of the BuzzFeed quiz. That's your problem. Use a little discretion.
For me, it's a difficult topic because, I've sent lewd and nude pictures over Facebook, and if that got out, you know how many people I have to say you're welcome to, it's it's gonna be so annoying,
All right, what would it take for you to drop or stop using a product like Facebook, Jerry?
Well, obviously, I've unfriended people who are clearly racist, and different recent issues in the headlines. I've just unfriended people, and I'm, generally the most friendly person you'll see on Facebook. But some just comments and some political stuff, like we discussed this earlier, political arguments and stuff. I try to stay out of that. But just the other thing is, it's always like you've got 2,227 friends in the morning. At night, you've now got 226. 2,220. It's like, where did that person go? What? Oh my God! What did I say?
But is it ever enough that you would stop using it?
Well, I'm horrible at Twitter. I got 226 Twitter followers, opposed to 2,226 on Facebook. So I would have to kind of make it grow and grow my little garden, my little Twitter garden some more before I say goodbye to Facebook. But I find it very useful to promote my comedy and my Elvis shows and stuff. So yeah, and there are family and friends on there, and some people from the past. That late at night,
which is skeleton profiles.
Yes.
Alyssa, what would it take for you to stop using Facebook?
For my comedy career to pick up, if I, was in Los Angeles, with a really awesome everyday comedy work, I would totally drop Facebook. In a New York minute.
So it wouldn't be for controversial reasons. It would be for good reasons.
No, I wouldn't need it anymore because, really, like Jerry says, he connects with family, but I really don't need to connect with family.
But what about your cat? Because I would miss your cat.
Yeah, exactly. And those recipes.
I would, in my absence, I would make a Facebook profile of my cats.
Good.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
People
Compensation. Yeah.
If a cat ever runs for president or prime minister, and they mine that data, it would be Sasha, what about you? What would it take What would Facebook have to do for you to say, you know what, I'm walking away from this?
It's a difficult topic, you know, like, I was thinking about it, like, if it affected my health in any kind of way. If I went to, like, my doctor, he's like, you know what, he's like,
You've got to stop.
you better stop doing
Candy
this.
Crush has
I
to
would, like,
stop,
quit
that's it.
my doctor, you know, like, I would keep my Facebook over that. So, like, I think I'm going to stay for a little while.
And money. If they started if they started charging to use Facebook, then Facebook.
I guess so. That would be it. That was
I
another.
gave you my soul. Now you want $25 a month.
Everything. Do we share too much online without thinking about the consequences? Sasha?
Yeah, I think, I knew this person, and they were just, like, promoting on their Twitter, like, things that were, like, inappropriate and super racist, and, you know, things that were, like, kind of scary and not so funny. Now he's the president of the United States, so, you know, like, it's, you know.
You actually got me there.
I don't,
Are you tired of my Elvis feeds?
No.
No?
No.
There's not enough. If anything, there's not enough
drama.
Inappropriate sharing.
It's all the drama, right? I mean, you know when it's a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning because people are complaining about their relationships, and, you know, I always like the one, she locked me out. I've been banging on the door for an hour. Somebody please find her, wake her up, and let me in. And that's my status update.
Like, I have such a good marriage to begin with that it's just like I love watching everyone's world around me crumble, that I'm just like, if that was taken away, I would, like, what's the point? What's the point? Like, so no.
It is entertaining, if anything.
And the medical things. People put pictures of their wounds.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
Like, sometimes it's too shocking. Like, think about what you would, if it was you and you suddenly clicked on there's, you know, all these stitches and people dying. Stop putting pictures of your people in the hospital on their deathbed. Oh my God.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Let's shift gears here. He's getting upset. What's going on? All right. Federal Green Party leader Elizabeth May was among over 100 people arrested in protests against the expansion of the Kinder Morgan pipeline in BC this week. It kind of reminds me of Standing Rock, where celebrity involvement in the protest often made more headlines than the issue itself. Start with you, Jerry. How effective is it for politicians, celebrities, and other public figures to get arrested or face situations like this for an issue?
Well, I find that it is almost headline grabbing for the politicians to do this. And I understand that they are, you know, leaders of a political party and they want to put their opinion out there and maybe get more votes that way. But when the big Hollywood stars, for instance, with the most recent March for Our Lives, a lot of people like George Clooney were donating $500,000, $1 million to the students so that they could have, you know, hotel accommodation, transportation to get to their protests, you know. And in that instance, I kind of agree, but standing up for our people and our rights, I think it's natural, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. Alyssa?
I feel like it would be useful if they, like, stuck around. Like, if they, you know, because when Elizabeth May was arrested, like, they're walking away and they're laughing like, oh, this is I'm being arrested, bad, spanking. But, you know, like, where are they when the rubber bullets come out and the water cannons come out? You know, where are they when the bulldozers come out? Like, they're nowhere to be found. There was not a celebrity or a politician who's like, yeah, I almost lost an eye because of a rubber bullet because I stuck around. Yep. So that's my take on that.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I think that there's so many stories going on in these kind of situations, and they kind of just like take the limelight. So they do bring a lot of good attention to, you know, their social medias, their Facebooks. So it works for their platform, and that's all I have to say about that.
But that being said, I don't want to be on a no-fly list either, right? Because Standing Rock was happening. I'm like, gosh, I got to get there. And I would see the list of people on Facebook that were going there and you know, and participating. And I thought, I want to go, but I don't want to be on a no-fly list because someday I may want to leave, you know, go on vacation in Europe or something. And then, oh no, you're on my little list here. And so I'm chicken.
Okay, we don't got a lot of time here yet. Who would you like to see get arrested and for what issue?
Oh.
Anybody?
Alyssa, she's too close to me right now. I need some space, so,
Enough!
Okay.
Ooh,
I take
the
that back.
rattle of shame has come out.
I'd like to see Perry Bellegarde get arrested. Yeah.
Oh,
and
Just
for what issue?
for everything. For absolutely everything. For like smiling and being a dick on TV. What long list of things could I name off? I mean, you know, like Pipeline Perry. I'd like to see him get arrested.
Jerry, quickly.
Donald Trump for promoting sex without the use of a condom. I think maybe he needs a talking to, and her for that matter. So it's over.
Sorry, Daniels. All right, we got to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll have more biting commentary like that from the Red Power panel, the only TV panel you'll ever need. Don't go away or I'll tell your dad.
Did you know we got the social medias?
Well, don't lie.
It's true. Like the Laughing Drum on Facebook and follow us on Twitter right now.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with my Red Power panel. Guys, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart, corporate sponsorship. The Inspire Awards took place in Winnipeg over the weekend. The glitzy show honors Indigenous peoples who are excelling in their various fields. However, it's been criticized in the past because some of its major sponsors are oil and other natural resource extraction companies. Now, we don't necessarily have to focus on Inspire, but I think we should talk about this issue of corporate sponsorship. Should we take money from companies and entities that potentially harm Indigenous communities if we do good work with that money? Jerry, let's start with you.
Well, as a program director and a person who's always looking for sponsorship for different Aboriginal events and whatnot, I think oil and gas companies, they're an easy target to go and ask for money for sponsorship for Aboriginal events. Of course they're going to give you money, for goodness sakes. But we can look beyond that. I did a little research. The Grammy Awards, for instance, they have iTunes, they have big automobile dealerships, they have credit card companies, they've got Apple, for instance. They've got other corporations, worldwide global corporations that aren't really part of, sucking up to the Indigenous people. There are other venues. Don't go for the easy buy, easy sell. Find something else. To all the salespeople out there.
To all the salespeople out there. Alyssa?
Yeah, I think that's dirty.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, it's like when there's that one dude who's just like riddled in STIs and like nobody should sleep with him, but then everyone does because it makes them look cooler. Like I can't get behind that. So, when we have these Indigenous events that are supposed to lift our people up and, supposed to shine a spotlight on them, there's that person behind the curtain who's like, don't look at me, I'm destroying your lands.
I think it's like the equivalent of getting beaten up by your bully, and then he'll give you some money not to tell his mom. It's like that's literally what this situation is. So, just stop dealing with him. You can get money elsewhere.
Yeah.
When organizations or events take that money, does this wash away the sins of that company? Is this what one writer called corporate redwashing? Do you think that it actually has that effect, or do you think people don't care?
I think it's easy money to grab and get your event on the air or get it rolling, and because they for every event they have a budget, and then they want to be able to have sponsorships for different things, and I think it's just an easy money grab. Yeah. And maybe there's guilt afterwards, or maybe hidden guilt when they're taking the money. But there are other, like I say, other worldwide corporations and foundations that we can go to. If your event is an annual event, you've got an entire year. Like if it's the Junos, you've got years to approach a new client and pitch them on it, right? It doesn't have to be the first, oil or gas company that comes along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your job.
Do your job.
Do your job.
What benefit might there be from boycotting this money, then? What does that prove? If you say no, thank you, I'm swearing off oil.
I think it encourages people to be more creative in how they fund projects. I think, you know, when we use things like hydro or liquor and lotteries, it's such an easy thing, and they're going to give it to us, you know, as soon as we ask. Whereas if we start boycotting these things, then we have to be, you know, more creative, and then we have to use, you know, our creative and critical thinking processes, which I think we don't use enough of.
Let's say, for argument's sake, we'll start with Sasha. Let's say Satan appeared.
Okay.
He's got
Hi, Dad.
horns, you know. He's got a pile of gold. He puts it right in front of you and says, "Go help people with indigenous languages." Would you turn that money down? It's not oil. It's
not oil. It's money.
It's
I think, you know, we've been in situations where they've given us money. Like people have given Indigenous people money before, and and it just hasn't worked out so well. So I'd be like, you know what? I see a theme. I'm out. I'm learning from from history mistakes. So there's other avenues. Yeah.
Satan's money for languages?
I feel like I'm going to have a little bit of a surprising answer. I would, yes, take the money. Yeah. If I can use it for revitalizing Indigenous languages, because I feel like our languages were taken in the name of God, so...
Jerry, Satan money, good or bad?
Satan! Go to hell! Leave our people alone. The thing is, perhaps Satan doesn't speak all the languages in the world, all the indigenous languages, and he would take this money to learn the language and then steal our souls, make us do evil, get us on his side, and that's not out. I cast thee out! Get out, devil!
One last question.
Oh, one more.
If you could pick a corporate sponsor just for you, who would it be? Jerry?
I was going to say Budweiser, but that's not a good answer. It'd probably be KFC. I love my chicken.
You know what? I would buy more of you if it meant supporting KFC. Alyssa?
I don't know. Menhas Creek, like, it's cheap, it's affordable, you know, it's just like me.
Would you have a slogan? I guess that would be...
With like a sad face, like just...
Sasha, what about you? Who would you pick as your corporate sponsor, and what would your slogan or product be?
I just need deodorant right now, so I just want to smell good. You know, that could be the slogan.
Axe.
Yeah.
Axe. Sasha for Axe. All right, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for everyone who checked us out, and thanks as always to my Red Power panel. We'll see you again next Tuesday.
Good job. Good job.